win it, and we have quiet confidence. We believe in ourselves, and you know, everyone needs a break here or there, but anything can happen.
Pretty good series here so far for Mark Habscheid. He picked up 1 assist in last night's game against the Soviets, another assist tonight. The score 1-1 after the second period of play. Our hockey coverage will continue in just a moment.
Hi, this is Henry Shannon inviting you to stand by for the thrill of a lifetime. It's the biggest band spectacular in the world. The 1985 military musical pageant at Wembley Stadium. Here is an unforgettable and historic recording of the last of the world-famous Wembley military tattoos. This breathtaking recording faithfully captures the intensity of color, tradition, and music of the British Army's best military pageant. Where else could you thrill to the sound of 2,000 musicians playing on the field at one time? Also available in this exclusive television offer, an accurate video recording of the most spectacular Wembley military salute ever. The 1981 pageant, played before Princess Diana and Prince Charles, featuring the bands of the Royal Regiment of Canada, the 48th Highlanders of Canada, and the pipes and drums of the Toronto Scottish Regiment and the 48th Highlanders of Canada. Order either the 1985 military pageant on 2 stereo LPs or long play cassette, or the VHS or beta cassette of the 1981 musical pageant, and you'll receive this free bonus. The world's great marches, 14 popular marches played by the world-famous band of the Grenadier Guards. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own these historic performances on LP, cassette, or videotape. So stand by to order.
Use your credit card for fast delivery. In Toronto, call 445-5664. In North America, you can call toll-free at 1-800-387-8034. Or save COD charges. Send $39.95 for the video cassette or $19.95 for the LP or tape, plus $3 postage and handling to Wembley, Box 3083 Markham, L3R6G4. Order now and receive your free bonus album. Please specify VHS or beta video cassette.
As Herb Pinder mentioned earlier on in the intermission when I was having a chat with him, he said Bobby Joyce would be on his way to the Boston Bruins following the Olympic competition. Well, we have more now on Bob Joyce.
We consider Bobby to be maybe one of the most important guys in our team because he's a very strong person offensively, and he can go to the net and makes things happen. And he's a great player defensively. He can play power play or penalty killing for you. And it's interesting, when he's in the lineup, our winning and losing record is much better.
Current New York Ranger and '84 Olympian James Patrick is Bobby Joyce's Winnipeg neighbor. Like Patrick, Joyce has delayed a promising NHL career with the Boston Bruins to play for his country. Former Olympians have had a major influence on Joyce, almost as if by destiny.
The finances weren't a factor in my decision to come to the Olympic team. I live next door to James Patrick, and my lawyer, Herb Pinder, is a former Olympian, and I went to Notre Dame in Wilcox, Saskatchewan, and the coaches there were former Olympians, so it seems everyone I was associated with played in the Olympics at one time or another, and they all spoke so highly of the program that, you know, they said the NHL will be there for 10 years, possibly, and whereas the Olympics in Canada only come around once in a lifetime, so I kind of jumped at the opportunity.
What will playing in the Olympics in 1988 mean to you?
Oh, it's going to be a tremendous experience. The whole experience, the whole year is going to be a big plus for me, in that, you know, I'm maturing as a person, and I'm definitely maturing as a hockey player. I'm going to be a better player at the end of February than I was, say, at the end of last spring coming out of college. So just as a person, as a hockey player, it's a great thrill, and it's a tremendous experience.
And Joyce is very confident about Canada's gold medal prospects.
We don't want to put undue pressure on ourselves, like going around stating that we're going to win the gold medal for sure. But like I said before, it's a one-game shot, and you put together some good hockey and you get some good goaltending and a few breaks, you know, it can happen.
Bobby Joyce doing well with the Canadian Olympic team. He should definitely help out Boston following the Olympics. Let's go upstairs now and the highlights of that second period of play.
Well, it was an abbreviated second period of play because of the problems with the goalposts there, the moorings to the net. Dave, let's take a look at that only goal of the short second period, a power play goal. It came early on, and it was the result of that penalty by Yaremchuk late in the first period.
Yeah, Tom Watt said this morning that they were concerned about the point men shooting the puck on the power play. They've got big guys back there. They've got veteran hockey players. You're going to see the Rumkus get the puck over here. He passes it over to him. He's going to give it to the man who are flooding the right side. But he doesn't stand there on the blue line. Watch him come now and attack the net. In doing so, somebody's got to pick him up. He makes him turn around, he turns him, and there's Ellerbrink comes in and he just slaps the puck. But the key figure right there, Peter Eriksson, number 23. Now we're going to get a different angle. Watch Eriksson standing in front of the net. He's 212 pounds, he's 6'4". He really cannot be moved from the front of the net. He screens Sean Burke. Bang, that's a big reason for the goal. Some smart play by the Swedish defenseman and a great play by Eriksson to get in front and screen him.
Certainly in that second period, the Swedes took the game to Canada.
Oh, there's no question about it. They outshot them 12-2. They lead in shots 21-9. But there was one good hit for the Canadian team, and that's by their hard hitter, Tony Stiles. They're out killing a penalty right out here. Von Karpen, who's only played 2 shifts, comes right in here. Watch Karpen go in there now. Now Stiles comes into the play, and he reintroduces himself to everybody there. He snapped Karpen's stick in 2 places, and Von says, listen, I only played 1 shift. Get me back to the bench if that's the way it's going to be out here.
All right, Sweden won, Canada won. We'll be back with the conclusion of the second period when the CanWest Hockey Network returns.
There's a beat in this land, it's there in all we do. That's why hands across the country reach for the blue. And when we get together, there's a taste that's clean and true. That's why we come for the blue.
Labatt's Blue is Pilsner brewed for that clean, true taste.
Yeah, that's why we come for the blue. It's time to call for your blue. It's time to call for the blue. You can feel it. You can feel it. I can feel it. You can feel the cottony softness.
Cottony softness makes Cottonelle right for my family.
You can feel it.
Cottony softness. It's as simple as that.
You can feel the cottony softness.
Welcome back. We are live at Saskatchewan Place, the arena located outside the city of Saskatoon on the north end. Kind of looks like a flying saucer in the prairies.
Well, after they had the long break, we're going to start the second period, or the middle of the second period. Something new has taken place right now. Behind the bench for Team Canada, Tom Watt and Guy Charron. I do not see Dave King on the bench right now. Charron has taken off his headgear. Tom Watt is coming from the press box right down here right now, and it looks to me like he is going to take over and make the line changes. So either Dave King is tired and wants to go home because it's so late, or he's going to watch proceedings from up in the press box. Not a bad decision on Dave King's. He's got to find out why they're being hemmed in, why they're being outshot by the wide margin they are being outshot.
It'll be an important game when Canada takes on Sweden at the conclusion of the first round of the Winter Olympics. As you take a look at Steve Tambellini, we'll pick it up right where we left it off. The second period, 7:33 remaining, 1-1 the score. Canada is number 1 to that young fan and to many fans across the country.
There is Tommy Watt, who is a veteran of international hockey. He coached the 1980 Olympic team. And we told you about the players, but we didn't tell you that Tom Watt was the coach in 1980 and that Dave King was the coach in 84 and Bill Stefaniak was the equipment man in 1984. So they have 7 people with previous Olympic experience.
And we are underway once again. Zarley Zalapski, long leap pass for Claude Bilgrain. Bergman comes out of his net to play it. And Von Karpen goes in there rather aggressively as he didn't want to face off.
That should give you some indication right there as what they're going to do. They won the face-off, and immediately Vilgren went into the center ice zone, and it looks to me like they're going to try for the long pass. This time Bergman comes out to get the puck, and actually the whistle had blown before Von Karpen knocked the puck loose. So let's watch for the Canadian team to come out for the long play. In doing so, you got to force that Swedish defense to possibly stay out in the play.
You see the referee tonight, Kevin Minch, and he's called a pretty good game, I think.
Pretty good game. He's let them play hockey. There hasn't been the body contact that we saw last night. We've mentioned time and again, but nevertheless, they are playing good, strong hockey.
And Steve Tambellini doesn't like the way the linesman was going to drop the puck.
This is a new lineup for Canada.
There's the shot and a glove save by Bergman on that blast from Zalapski. Now here come the Swedes. Rundqvist, number 9, across the blue line, got Eriksson with him. Tried to drop pass to Eldebrink, but it was broken up by Vilgrain. Södergren out in front, and it goes off the skate of Eriksson. There's another shot by Södergren. Wide. Eriksson to Södergren. Backhand shot, and it's off the mark. Now Canada come out. Von Karpin to center. It's a 3-on-2. Karpin checked off the puck by Eldebrink. Rundqvist falls down at the side of the goal. Stiles pitches in from his point position. Tony Stiles, and the net has come loose. Boy, we almost had another broken net.
Well, that time he lifted it right off the plastic moorings and didn't cause it to snap at the... So Canada coming out after that brief break, and I mentioned before the break that probably Dave King would like this kind of break, to get him in there and with that long opportunity to really change their game plan, and they have done so right now. They're somewhat more aggressive. They're attacking the net. They're being a little more offensive-minded with the wide passes.
There you see number 4 for Canada, Tony Stiles, Calgary native, free agent, signed by the Flames in 1982, then traded to Quebec in 1986. Never played a game with the Nordiques.
Good, strong hitter. He played 30 games with Calgary, though, but when they had some injuries, he played, and he played very well. I think he's a better player now than he was when he played with the Flames.
There's a shot from the point by Felix. It was deflected wide. Mark Hapshide, former Saskatoon Blade. This is a homecoming for him as well as Dave King. Felix to Shervin. Shervin had that puck go off his stick. Peter Anderson tries to get it out. Stiles makes the hit. And here comes Sweden. Lars Gunnar Peterson. Peterson, his shot low and just off the mark. Shervin, long lead pass to Hapshide. Across to Felix, and he lost it in his skates.
Just poor concentration that time. It was a great pass by Hapshide. He should have been able to handle the puck and get a shot on goal.
Tom Eklund just fires it into the Canadian end. Waters will go back for the puck. Serge Bois, as Canada comes out more aggressive here in the conclusion of this second period. 5:36 remaining. 1-1, Sweden and Canada. Wally Schreiber back to Tim Waters. Waters to Brian Bradley, and he fires it in. Serge Boisvert in there into the corner. After that loose puck, Bradley to Boisvert. It was chucked off his stick. Loose puck in front. Schreiber can't reach it. And here comes Sweden. Erling, number 11, across the blue line, working against Waugh. Backhand shot, the save made. Rebound, and it's gloved by Burke. Burke. The head to Schreiber, and he turned it over to Sweden.
They've got the Swedish team a little confused now. They've come out with a little more intensity, and the Swedes haven't been able to pick up the pace so far in this period.
Eldebrink. Across the Canadian blue line. Pass in front, and just missing it was Lars Moline. Brian Bradley. Trip from behind, no penalty. Here comes Sweden. Moline pass. Gets it back again to Eldebrink. Eldebrink checked at center. That's Ken Yaremchuk along the board, and it's picked up and turned over by Malinowski. Serge Bois will just fire it down the ice, and this will be icing, as going back to touch the puck is Lars Carlson. Here, take a look at the Canadian trainer, and he's timing the shifts for the players to make sure they're not on the ice too long. And I think Canada has been caught a number of times tonight with players who've been out there for about a minute and a half, and Dave King likes about a normal 40-second shift.
Well, I think it's just something that they mark down in their books, and what they will do is that they'll use it this way. If a goal is scored, they'll say it was scored 30 seconds into your shift or 40 seconds into your shift, or you scored a goal 20 seconds in or 40 seconds in. They use it just to time everything when they look at the video.
Sudegren shot, glove save made by Burke. Big face-off in that Canadian end. The Swedes won it, and they get a good scoring opportunity. Anderson fires it in. Zalapski takes Sudegren out. And it's flipped into the crowd by Sean Burke. And again, this was the National Hockey League. That would be a penalty. Take a look at Tommy Sandlin. He's in the middle of your screen. Kind of crowded Swedish bench.
Well, the benches here in Saskatchewan Place are not that large to begin with, and when they're allowed to dress 21 players, and they have behind there, what, 2 coaches, they have a trainer, they have a physiotherapist, and I guess I don't see Peter Lindmark if he's still behind the bench there now. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people besides the 21 players that they have dressed for tonight.
And that unfortunate fan received the puck that Sean Burke shot out.
I think there are nicer ways of getting one.
That's a souvenir the hard way. Puck gloved in. Canada touching that pass first, so there's no stoppage in the play. Chris Felix back in the net. Pass to Barry, and Barry just gets to it first to knock it out over the blue line. Slapped back in by Sudegren. Now Felix will try it all over again. Off the board and down the ice.
Sudegren, an interesting figure. He's 5'8". He's 190 pounds. He's just like a fire plug. Here he comes up ice now.
Sudegren, nice moves to center. Barry does a good job of taking him out of the play, though. Sweden making changes to their players on the ice. Shervin has Habscheid with him. Shervin being hooked from behind, no penalty. And Shervin tried to drop pass to Habscheid, but he was in a little too far. Now picking up that loose puck, Anderson. Anderson around Shervin, but Waters covering up, clears the puck. Now Anderson out in front, is off a skate, back to Anderson. Now Sweden starting to take the play to Canada. Serge Waugh wants to settle things down here, takes the puck back in the net, will set up the offense, flips it to center. Killstrom back to Anderson, and Waters intercepts the pass. Tim Waters, and that'll be offside at the Swedish blue line. From Saskatchewan Place, this is National Team Hockey.
What could sparkling carbonated mineral water have in common with our coffee? Anyway, we use what makes the bubbles in sparkling carbonated mineral water to naturally decaffeinate our beans. Well, it's the perfect way to take out caffeine without disturbing the coffee flavor. Smooth, satisfying Sanka. Decaf taste you can get excited about.
Get a chance to look at young Gordy Shervin, the Hartford Whaler right winger, comes in here. Did you see that Swedish defenseman come up and make the attack, and he had to force the puck and get it over to Shervin? He comes in here, and the puck is thrown behind because it's the constant pressure, the constant support that the Swedish forwards are giving each other. I'm impressed by what Tommy Sandlin has done with this hockey club. It's a veteran team, and they're playing with a lot of enthusiasm.
And here they come again. Samuelson trying to get around Zalapski, but can't do it. Now following up on the play, Erling. Randy Gregg kicks the puck off his stick and clears it out. Elderbrink. Back to Samuelson. With Johansson. And Johansson misses Bo Berglund with the pass. Serge Boisvert loses the puck at the blue line, and the Swedes fire it back into their own zone. Bergman comes out of the net. Bradley, after that loose puck, Bradley takes his man down, and they'll hold it there long enough for a face-off. 1:14 remaining here in the conclusion of the second period. 1-1 the score. Shervin scoring for Canada, and Elderbrink for Sweden. As you take a look at Randy Gregg, the good doctor, and who says that the Edmonton Oilers are showing some interest in having him rejoin the club. after the Olympics.
Let me pose a little quiz to you. What other defenseman played in the Olympics, won a gold medal, and played in the Stanley Cup winning team?
That's an easy one.
Quickly. Who is it?
Ken Morrow.
Right.
He played on
right.
4 consecutive Stanley
Be
Cup
a great
winning teams.
accomplishment for Randy Craig if he was afforded that opportunity. First win the gold.
Here comes Sweden again. Sandstrom, long pass across the ice, missed his teammate, and Canada gets it. Final minute here of the second period, and it's offside. Of course, we had that big delay in the second period as you take a look at number 26 for Sweden, Lars Molin.
31 years of age, is the oldest forward on the team. He played for the Vancouver Canucks in the National Hockey League. He started his international experience in 1981. He was on the World Championship team. So there we talk about the experience that they have on their team.
Tony Stiles, long shot. Bergman gloves it, and he'll leave it there for Peter Anderson. Felix flips it back in for Canada. Carlson gets it out. Moline ahead to Yellowman, and that loose puck goes to Yaremchuk. Ahead to Merlin Malinowski. Malinowski moving in. There's a shot, the save made. Loose puck, and it's under Bergman. But a good scoring opportunity for Merlin Malinowski. I think Bergman is coming up injured.
It looks to me like he might be favoring his knee. Malinowski, who did everything on the play, he got the pass coming up over the red line, and he just tries to force it towards the net. In doing so, here's Yaremchuk. He's going to feed him the puck in right on his stick. As he comes in here, he is trying to beat the defenseman. In doing so, he just kind of tries to force the puck by him. Right, it looks to me like it's the left knee of Anders Bergman. We'll get a better look at it right here. He's in a great position to make the challenge. Did you see him go down? As he went down on his knee, and he just caught part of Merlin Malinowski's knee also. Another delay we'll get as the trainer is out there to have a look. You say that name, Joe.
Anders Widerstall, the trainer for Team Sweden.
Whatever happened to when they had just the coach and the equipment guy? Now they've got the physiotherapist, they've got the trainer, they've got the assistant coach, they've got the video guy, they've even got the sports psychologist who is sitting back home, Cal Botterill. I want to say hello to him and wish him all the best when he joins Team Canada this Saturday in Calgary.
And we'd like to say hello again to the stations across the country on the CanWest Hockey Network, CJCH in Halifax and the Atlantic Satellite Network, the Global Television Network in Ontario, CKND in Winnipeg, STV in Regina and Saskatoon, ITV in Edmonton, CFAC in Calgary and Lethbridge, CFTK in Terrace, BC, and CKVU in Vancouver.
Now we have the veteran Tambellini to take the face-off. It's a good opportunity perhaps to have a couple of good shooters on the blue line. They have in Serge Roy. It would look to me like Tambellini will try to pull it back to his left and get it to Roy.
Tambellini, Karpin, and Vilgrain, the forward line for Canada. Rundqvist, Sudegren, and Eriksson for Team Sweden. Tambellini wins the draw. Roy on net. Bergman with the save, and I'm not sure if he really saw that one, Dave.
Well, that was exactly what Tambellini wanted to do. Now, Roy is in a little tight, and I don't think he has a chance to really shoot the puck. Now, here's the face-off. Watch it come back here. Roy is really in tight, but a great job. Now, the forward right there should have tied up the Swedish guy, but they have 3 guys on that side, and Claude Vilgren is over there, and he's got to guess who is going to come out and attack the defenseman. And that time, the Swedish guy guessed right, and he forced Roy just to kind of direct it and didn't get any power on it.
Tambellini on loan to the Olympic team from the Vancouver Canucks. He's a power play specialist. 25 of his 36 points last season came with the Canucks on the man advantage. Tambellini just missing there as he was checked from behind by Killstrom. Waters to Roy. Roy moving in. There's a shot. They score!
Can't stress enough the importance of winning those faceoffs. It allows Canada to get possession. Waters over to Roy. Roy coming in, he directs it at the net right in there. Watch the activity in front of the net. The Swedish guys are tying him up. but give the Canadian forwards a lot of credit because, hey, put your stick on the ice. If your stick is up in the air, you're not going to get those tip-ins. So a great play all around. Starts with Tambellini winning the faceoff. Well done.
And that goal coming with just 8 seconds remaining in this second period. Claude Vilgrain getting the goal at 19:52. And the second period has come to an end. The assist going to Serge Roy and Tim Waters. So now what they're going to do is just change ends and complete the third period and the game.
Well, the importance of the play, of the move by the coaching staff for Canada was that Habscheid, to me, has been their best face-off guy. But he is a lot stronger on the other side. They elected to go to Tambellini. Claude Vilgrain's a big, strong, tough guy in front of the net. They're very successful in getting the puck, and Tim Waters made the key play by getting it over to Serge Roy.
With the score, Canada 2, Sweden 1. This is the Can West Hockey Network.
Little by little, bit by bit, you're gonna love snacking on new Ritz Bits. Filling up your fist with a flick of your wrist. Oh, that Ritz flavor fits in every one of these bits. New Ritz Bits, little by little, Ritz Bits, bit by bit. Every Ritz bit is every bit of Ritz.
Here's the activity right here as it comes over in front of the net. The puck will come back to Waters on the blue line right here. Vilgrain, very aggressive, getting to the puck first, bouncing it off. Right here, he senses that he can't pass it. He has to flip it over the stick, and Roy just moves right into the play. There's a lot of activity in front of the net. Now, what the Swedish team is going to do, they have decided to put Oslin back into the net because of the injuries to Anders Bergman, and he was favoring his knee as he came out after the end of the period. So Oslin should be pretty warm. He doesn't have to get used to the shots because, mind you, he didn't get a whole lot of shots in the first 2 periods either.
Third period action underway. Habscheid almost with a scoring opportunity there, but the puck was knocked off his stick at the last moment. Zalapsky moving in. Barry at the point. Barry back to Greg. Greg will backhand it on goal. Loose puck in front, and Oslin clears it away. Canada leading 2-1 on that goal by Claude Vilgrain. 19:52 of the second period. Habscheid checked at center. Zalapsky will just clear the puck into the Swedish zone.
The Swedish defenseman again attacking the play, and Habscheid did the right thing by just trying to dump it into the zone, force that face-off right there. They've been successful winning a lot of face-off. Hey, you can make a mistake if you're at that end of the ring.
Take a look at number 12 of Canada, Serge Boisvert. From Drummondville, Quebec, as you can see.
We talked last night about Boisvert, his qualities. He is quick to get off the mark. He jumps on those skates, and he's got an excellent snapshot.
Wally Schreiber, one of the leading scorers on this national team, to Bradley. Bradley trying to get it out in front, and it was cleared away. Kept in at the point by Style. Boisvert handles the bouncing puck to Bradley. Back to Boisvert. Now Berglund for Sweden fires it out, and Felix has it for Canada. Chris Felix from Bramalea, Ontario, shoots it in. Carlson fires it around the boards, but not out. Schreiber to Bradley. McLaren being checked in front. Bradley tried to get it on goal, but the puck was stopped by Carlson, who has it now.
The Canadians are playing a little better possession hockey. They're a little more confident hanging on to the puck.
Stiles takes Johansson out of the play as Canada comes back. Loose puck in the neutral zone. Roy will just flip it back into the Swedish end. Malinowski. Back of the net to McLaren. He was tripped. Kicks it loose, and coming up for it is Sweden. Thomas Eriksson. Loose puck in front, and it's cleared away by Timmy Waters, who clears it out. Now McLaren. Check from behind. Mats Killström. Ahead to Sandstrom. And he was checked. 17:30 remaining here in the third period. Canada leading Sweden 2-1, the final exhibition game prior to the 1988 Winter Olympics in Calgary, which will start on Saturday. Billgren, nice drop pass to Tambellini. Tambellini across the blue line. Eldebrink checking on him. Sandstrom checked at center. Zalapski, nice move, but it's offside, and Tambellini couldn't get it out. Good call there by the linesman, even though the crowd doesn't agree, as you take a look at Zarley Zalapski.
Well, the Canadians have gradually taken over this hockey game once again. They seem to be a little more assertive. They're a little more aggressive. We look at Zalapski. They're forcing the play. They're moving up with the puck somewhat better. And the thing that happens now, remember, we had 7:33 to go in the second period. This will be, in fact, a very, very long third period. Now, the fitness and the conditioning of the Canadian team is starting to show. It's starting to come out right now. They're a very superbly conditioned team, and the elder team, the Swedish team, might be suffering from it just a wee bit.
Anders Eldebrink trying to clear the puck out of the Swedish zone, and does. Rundqvist back to Samuelsson, back to Eldebrink. Karpin takes him out of the play. And again, Karpin takes him out of the play at center. Samuelsson across the blue line. Plays the puck to the corner. Södergren back of the net, checked by Zalapski. Billgren puts a hit on Rundqvist, and Gregg comes up with the puck. Randy Gregg ahead to Barry. Barry turns it over. Eriksson the shot, and it was deflected wide by Zalapski. Rundqvist trying to get that puck out, and Zalapski doing a good job of holding it there for a faceoff. 16:21 remaining here in the third period. Canada leading it by 1.
That time you saw a series of plays in the corner, and it was the support system that Dave King talks about quite a bit. He just keeps falling one after another. You saw Billgren in the corner, not trying to get the puck and score a goal from this end, just trying to get possession of the puck and moving it up the ice. And that's the way you do it. You try to create the 2-on-1, the open space situation, and they're supporting each other a little bit more, and also that conditioning and that confidence level is really starting to peak for them.
Claude Billgren signed as a free agent by the Vancouver Canucks in June of '87, and he could be headed there after the Olympics.
I think he could play for Bob McCammon. He would be Pat Quinn, Bob McCammon type of hockey player.
And it's offside, a two-line pass. Canada has not won an Olympic gold medal since 1952 when the Edmonton Mercuries struck gold in Oslo, Norway. As you take a look at Ken Berry.
Second chance for him. 1980, 19 years of age. It had to be a big, wonderful experience for him. He's sitting in Lake Placid. They're with a team really that wasn't given a great chance to play. This year, this team is considered one of the top teams in the international pool.
That team in 1980 only had 6 months to prepare for the Olympic Games. This team you see has had 3 years. And that is the major difference between the clubs of 1980 and 1988.
And I think they got stronger goaltending.
Stiles fires it down the ice. No icing on the play. Long lead pass. Burke will come out of his net to play it. Burke. And it was blocked there by number 11, Erling. And Waters doing a good job of denying Erling a clear lane to the net. And it's now flipped into the crowd by Serge Waugh.
He was just shaking his head there, and goes over and gives Sean Burke a pat. They're just trying to reinforce Sean Burke and saying, hey, we understand you threw the puck away. Don't forget about it. Bang, we'll come back. We'll get that. There's that harmony on the team spirit. Hey, you make a mistake, give the guy the pat on the back. I kind of like that. It reminds me of college hockey or my 14-year-old team that I coach back home.
You know, last night we saw Viktor Tikhonov of the Soviet Union. When we showed him on the bench, he was yelling at his players, and there Guicheron quietly telling the players, short side.
Burke got over there.
Yeah, Burke got over there. Bo Berglund almost scoring on the wraparound. Berglund again from in front. And that time the shot by Berglund off the stick of Waters.
What reflexes on Burke. He is standing on the other side of the net completely, and he is tall enough, 6'3", to get right over there. Watch him on the other side of the net, and he still has the presence of mind to get over there. Good play by Serge Roy. He comes in and helps. That's the support we talk about. Watch him go to the other side. Now he comes back. Very quick, cat-like reflexes. You got to like this guy. I don't know if you're a New Jersey Devils fan, but I'll tell you what, that could be a big confidence booster for that team. They've got some good scoring people. They've got some good defensive people. They've got some youngsters. And I think in Schoenfeld, they've got a young coach that can bring them up. And this guy will be a great acquisition.
15 minutes exactly remaining here in the third period. Canada leading it 2-1. Puck kept into the point by Eldebrink. Puts it out in front. A backhand shot denied there to number 14, Yelman.
Good play by Randy Gregg, though.
Sandstrom ahead to Yelman. Back to Moline. Yelman. Drop pass. Samuelson. Shot. Just missed. Now Merlin Malinowski. Long cross-ice pass to Bobby Joyce, and that missed the mark. Tommy Samuelson in his own end. That pass ahead broken up by Joyce, and here comes Tambellini for Canada. And Tambellini was stopped at the blue line by Eldebrink. Felix fires it back in. Giving chase is McLaren. Now Tambellini came up with the loose puck. And the Swedish defenseman Samuelson corralled that loose puck as he saw two Canadians standing over him.
Well, he was trying to get a penalty against the Canadian team. He went down like he was felled by an axe. He was trying to get a hooking penalty. Samuelson is a veteran hockey player, and I like the way he plays. Only 5'9", 175 pounds, but he got his start in the Olympic 1981. Watch him right here as he goes down after he gets hooked on the puck. Right there, it looks like he was felled by an axe. He went down. He was able to get the whistle and get a line change.
And I see a 4.5 from the judges on that dive.
It could be questioned. I mean, it was a high stick, so you make it look a little more exaggerated. You know, you should be practicing some of that because the officiating of the Olympics will be somewhat different than what it is in the pro hockey.
Here's Claude Vilgrain for Canada, checked by Erickson. Now McLaren into the corner, and coming up with the loose puck is Iverson. Iverson ahead to Rundqvist, and that pass was broken up nicely by Chris Felix. Ahead to Vilgrain, and he didn't see his pass coming. Carlson, back of the net to Anderson. Tambellini just clears the puck out to center. Erickson will carry it back in for Sweden. Decides to turn back at the blue line. Killstrom will just flip it in. 13-11 remaining here in the third period. Canada holding on to that 2-1 lead. You're watching National Team Hockey live from Saskatchewan Place.
You should take something for that cough.
We're all out.
Try that. You always give it to us when we have a cold with a cough.
Try Minigol DM is for kids.
Then why does it say adults, 2 teaspoons right here?
Well, that's because they want... Aren't you late for school?
Try Minigol DM. Congestion relief plus DM for cough control. For adults and children.
Smart kid.
13:08 remaining here in the third period. Canada leading Sweden 2-1 as the wave is making its way around Saskatchewan Place. Great sound system here tonight.
I was talking to you about the size of the Swedish team. Number 23, we mentioned Peter Eriksson, 212 pounds. In this third period right now, he's laboring. He can only go out there about 20, 30 seconds at best, and he's got to come off.
Tim Waters, back of that Canadian goal to Barry. Barry gets it out to Hapshide now. Chases after that loose puck. Hapshide with Anderson on his tail. Hapshide comes up with it to Shervin, and Shervin just clears it to the open corner. Can't get it out. Shervin back to Barry. Barry looking for someone to pass it to, and coming up with the loose puck is Shervin. To Mark Habscheid. Back to Waugh. There's the shot, and it's off the mark. Waters keeps it in. Now here comes Team Sweden, led by number 21, Peterson. To Eklund. Eklund checked at the blue line. Puck back of that Canadian goal. Eklund knocking down Waugh. Samuelson lost the puck in the corner. Now comes to Habscheid. And Shervin flips it into the Canadian bench and almost catches Randy Gregg. This telecast is protected by copyright and is a co-production of STV Saskatoon, STV Regina, CKND TV in Winnipeg, who along with Labatt's NSO are proud to bring you tonight's game on the Can West Hockey Network.
That line for Sweden, led by number 4, Tommy Eklund, has been the most aggressive line for Sweden. I would sense that they might play just a wee bit more with the last 12 minutes in this period.
Loose puck in the neutral zone, picked up by Brian Bradley. He'll flip it to the corner. Osling clears it to the side. Bradley out in front to Randy Gregg, but it was broken up by Eldebrink. Now Bradley again with the puck. Eldebrink takes him out of the play. Now Samuelson, long lead pass for Bo Berglund. Zalapski gets back to cover up. And it's offside at the Canadian blue line as it's brought in by Samuelson. Number 7, Tommy Samuelson, 28 years old, 5'9". He's played in 4 World Championships, Canada Cup in 1987. He was a member of the Swedish Olympic team back in 1980.
Now, they had 5 players right here that played in the 1980 Olympics. They only have 3 that played on that 84 team, so they changed them over quite a bit. You look at them, and you have that sense of feeling when you look at the bench. See how they're puffing? They're just grasping a little bit. One thing, when you take a big hockey club, it's tough to keep them in the top physical condition.
Chris Felix back of that Canadian goal. Pass to Malinowski. Ahead to Bobby Joyce.
That's his game. That's his game. Right along the boards, right along there. Force the puck into the zone.
Puck back to the Swedish net. Eriksson. Loose puck in the zone, and the Swedish net. Here's McLaren, big shot. Loose puck, McLaren stopped by Osleen. A major giveaway by Sweden, kept in at the point by Felix. And Malinowski now doing a good job. Joyce trying to get that puck out in front. Grab from behind. Now McLaren doing a good job of forechecking. And this time Felix can't keep it in.
Good shift that time by Donnie McLaren, Merlin Malinowski, and Bobby Joyce.
Canada trying to catch the Swedes on a line change. Karpin going into the corner. Takes out Eriksson. Now here comes Sweden. Södergren across the blue line, checked by Waugh. Karpin has lost his helmet. Now Tim Waters will just slap it into the Swedish zone. Vilgrain in the corner. Von Karpin gives support. Vilgrain being held up by Rundqvist. Now Waugh, his shot was blocked. Södergren brings it out, and Södergren shoots it into the Canadian zone. Burke ahead to Waters. And Vilgrain didn't want to touch that puck because he was offside on the play.
Well, Canada changing very, very quickly, using 4 lines in this third period. Very wise choice by Tom Watt and Guy Charron. I'm not sure if David King, who was up in the press box, making those choices.
Canada picking up the tempo, and the Swedes at this particular moment can't cope with it. Offside. Let's go to Ron Rimmer.
Toronto Star hockey writer Frank Orr. And Frank, I'd like to get your thoughts on the 2 games we've seen here at the brand new Saskatchewan place.
Well, last night was Russia-Canada, and that's always good no matter what the caliber of play is. It was a well-played, interesting game. Tonight, I think the crowd's a little disappointed. They thought there'd be a little more excitement. But this is the kind of hockey you're going to see in the Olympics. Very technical, positional, defensive hockey. Lay back and wait for the breaks. The Swedes do it extremely well. It won them a world tournament, and it's won Team Canada a lot of games this year. So I think that's what the fans can expect out of Calgary.
You know, I heard Sports Illustrated or Reddit that they picked them as the favorites. I think that might be a tad out of line, but your thoughts on how they're going to do in the Olympics?
Well, they have a shot at the gold medal. That's there's no reason why not. They've beaten the Russians twice, and they played well against all the other contenders. It could be the most interesting Olympic hockey tournament ever, because there's 4 teams with a good shot at it, and the United States, Finland, West Germany are not pushovers, so it's going to be a good, strong hockey tournament.
Thanks very much, Frank.
Thank you.
Joe?
Some interesting thoughts there from Frank Orr, veteran hockey writer with the Toronto Star. Buried to Shervin. Shervin almost getting in. Now loose puck. Hapshide. Back of the net. Bouncing puck, and Hapshide trying to get control of a great shot. That almost took off the head of Elderbrink. Shervin from the side. Back to Gregg. Gregg backhands it into the corner. Now Hapshide. Coming up with the puck is Shervin. Hapshide being held there back of the goal. And finally, the Swedes get it out.
Solid play right there, the Canadians. They're just, you know, they're not turning the puck over. When we look down at it, we're going to say, well, they only had 17, 18 shots. But territorially, they've got an awful lot of possession as they sit into the zone.
Take a look at number 16, Merlin the Magician Malinowski. You know, he still holds one record in the history of the franchise of the Kansas City Scouts, the Colorado Rockies, and the New Jersey Devils. That record, the fastest 2 goals by one player, 27 seconds apart, on Gilles Meloche of Minnesota. 8:25 remaining here in the 3rd period. Canada leading Sweden 2-1. Boisvert just fires it back into the Swedish zone. Östlin comes out of his net, and Östlin taking a page out of the Canadian playbook with the goaltenders coming up out of their goal, behind the goal line. And
if it's within the rules, why take advantage of it? You get an opportunity to freeze the puck and, you know, reorganize yourself. She's lost a little interest right there. She's looked kind of bored herself. You know, I was led to believe that this game wouldn't even have the excitement that it's having, but Canada are playing very well, and the Swedes are not sitting back. They're trying to get that equalizer.
Bradley flipping the puck back into the Swedish zone. Back for it is Lars Carlson, number 6, back of the goal. Long lead pass to Bo Berglund, who was wide open. Berglund moving in. A pass across, and a save made by Sean Burke on Erling.
What a great play by Jens Erling. I mean, he sacrificed himself just to try and touch the puck, and he knowing full well that he's going to crash into the boards. He's going to touch the puck. Watch the nice little subtle dump in there. Erling comes in and just touches part of it, but you have to like the size of Sean Burke. He wasn't sure what it was going to be, a pass or not, but he's able to stretch himself right across there. Good play all around. That's the kind of hockey, as Frank Orr talks about, that we're going to see in the Olympics. I'll take it. Pretty exciting.
A lot of people have compared Sean Burke to Ken Dryden, who, of course, also played for the Olympic team. But, you know, I like to go a little further back in comparing Sean Burke. I like to compare him to Seth Martin, who gave Canada some great goaltending back in the mid-60s. Tim Waters with the puck now for Canada. Lead pass to Bobby Joyce. Joyce working along the far boards, taken out of the play by Killstrom. Now Malinowski in there for the puck. Comes up with it. Malinowski, who played the last 5 seasons in Switzerland. Joyce checked in the face-off circle. And finally, the Swedes get it out. Bobby Joyce waits for his teammates to get onside as Canada flips it back in.
I have a sense that the Canadian forwards, watch, it's 35 seconds, they made a change, and they're just constantly applying pressure on that older defense, and they're winning the battles in the corners with it.
Sandstrom, shot on goal, directed to the corner by Burke. Samuelson taking a hit there by Carpin. Now Burke to Waters, and Waters will play it off the glass. Yellum can't get around Waters. Zalapski back of the net to Vilgrain. Ahead to Von Karpen, and Karpen couldn't handle the pass. 6:28 remaining here in the third period. Canada leading it 2-1. Randy Gregg can't get it out. Tambellini takes out his man back of the net. Now Zalapski being hounded there by Rindquist, and Zalapski wants a face-off. And we're going to have a penalty for roughing coming up to Canada. Vilgrain, as he took out rather aggressively Peter Eriksson.
Eriksson, who has been playing sparingly in the third period. They have him out there right now because he's a big individual. They want to get some activity in front of the net. But Vilgrain, a little too aggressive. He takes a 2-minute penalty.
You know, Dave, 9,429, the attendance here tonight, 3 sellouts.
Here's the penalty right there. Actually, the penalty is not so much for rough play, but it's interference because Eriksson was doing nothing as far as the puck was concerned. Zardy Zalapski was freezing it, and then bang, you know, he takes the penalties. There's a look at Bobby Pulford. Interesting comment from Pulford this morning. He said to Tom Watt, "Who owns this Von Karpen?" He says, "Do you think he can play with my hockey team?" I give you it right from Tom Watt. He says Pulford is interested in Von Karpen. If Von Karpen doesn't get a chance at a National Hockey League team, I think he'd make a great coach.
Von Karpen, one of the character players on this Olympic team. He'll do anything the coaching staff asks him to do. One of the players that Dave King will throw on the ice at any time. So Sweden now with the man advantage. Their first goal coming on the power play. Carlson at the point. There's a shot deflected in front. Burke makes the save and covers up on the loose puck.
I'm not that sure whether or not Burke saw the puck, but he had positioned himself so well that he prevents them from scoring a goal. Lars Carlson is standing on the blue line. He's going to fake giving the puck over to number 19, Peter Anderson, and then he lets go of the shot, and Burke is in great position. Timmy Waters comes in and covers up, and they get the freeze. But it was a good, smart play by Lars Carlson as he's standing there. Now, they told us he was strictly a defensive hockey player, but there's no question about it that he plays very well offensively.
Saw that replay, number 4, Tom Eklund deflecting that point shot.
Eklund has played well all night. I wouldn't be surprised if Eklund was considered the player for Sweden.
There you see the attendance, 9,429. Last night, for that Soviet Union game, 9,399. So they've squeezed 30 more people into the building tonight.
Well, certainly it's a credit to the people of Saskatoon and in around the area of Saskatoon to support the Olympic team. The Olympic program is run by funds, and these are some of the funds that they get by playing this type of hockey game. And if they can continue to get that support, they'll be a stronger franchise for it.
Carlson at the point, teeing up the shot, fakes it, and gives it over to George Shervin. Carlson may have been better off to have fired the puck.
I don't know how close he wanted to get, but he was at the face-off circle. I mean, you don't have to see the white of the goaltender's eyes. Man, take that opportunity. The goal they did score was because they moved in and they had someone go in front of the net. This time, we're going to see the Swedish team, and bang, right here. Here's Carlson. There's the face-off circle. I mean, how much closer can you get? I know there's a lot of activity, but I mean, you got to direct it towards the net, and he catches his other defensive partner moving in for the pass. And not a bad play by Gordy Shervin that time to try to clear the zone.
1:20 remaining in the penalty to Claude Vilgrain.
Obviously, it was a bad play because they took him off and put Peter Eriksson back on the ice.
Swedes fire the puck into the Canadian zone. Zalapski fires it hard along the boards, but it's kept in by Eriksson. Johansson into Berglund. Johansson from the corner. They score! Erling ties it up at 2.
There's that 3-man on the right side zone. Try to create the 2-on-1 situation. It all starts with number 27, Thomas Eriksson. He plays at the point. He keeps the puck into the zone. Bang, it goes back over there to Lars Molin, and they're moving it around. Mikael Johansson comes right out. There's the 2-on-1. Actually, when you look right over there, number 7, Schreiber, he should be coming in and taking the man. The zone collapses. He has to come in and take the zone. You get a better idea. What you can see all the Canadian guys in there from that top camera angle. They're right in there. They collapse the zone just a wee bit too late.
So Erling at 13:46 ties it up at 2, and the Swedes 2 power plays, 2 goals.
Actually, Joe, when you look at it, for the chances they've had, they deserve to be tied in this hockey game with the shots and the scoring opportunities.
Claude Billgrain trying to get to that loose puck along the boards as Sweden fires it out to center. Tony Style backhands it back in. Oslin will leave it there, back of the net. Carpin takes out Oslin, and the crowd loves it. Now back at the side of the goal, Carpin, and that backhand shot was blocked by Elderbrink. A good shift by the Paw native Von Carpin. Now here's a chance for Sweden. Yellman moving in and turns back. Yellman checked by Billgrain.
Got a little too fancy, but he wanted to give his team a chance to get on the ice. They were making a line change, and he just tried to waste some time with the puck.
Puck fired in by Canada. Rundqvist ahead to Eriksson, and Eriksson gets it out over the blue line. Sudegren checked there by Malinowski. Bobby Joyce now at center, and he will one-hand it into the Swedish zone.
We go back and talk about the penalties to Yaremchuk and the penalty to Claude Billgren. Discipline should have been the case. Dave King will be concerned about that. Those are poor penalties to take.
Rundqvist out in front of the slot area, and again Eriksson had a chance to take the shot, and he makes the bad pass.
Well, we said he was big. We didn't say he was too smooth.
3:40 remaining. Game tied at 2, and that's a 2-line pass and offside. It's Canada and Sweden on the CanWest Hockey Network.
It has the sophisticated styling of a European touring sedan and that wonderful European capability underway. Agile, precise, with room, more passenger room than any car in its class, and a 7-year, 115,000-kilometer protection plan. Introducing the 1988 Eagle Premier. It's well named because it's a first, a Canadian-built car with European sophistication and handling.
Sweden and Canada tied at 2 on the power play goal by Erling at 14:46 of this third period.
Coach Sandlin is short in his bench. He's down to 4 defensemen, and he's playing only 3 lines right now. So he's after the tie or the win in this game.
That's where the puck is. Killstrom plays it along the far boards. Barry in the neutral zone for Canada. Back to Gregg, ahead to Barry. And Barry flips it in and takes a good run at Eriksson. And that puck was flipped into the crowd rather aggressively.
Pretty close call for Ken Barry right there. Thomas Eriksson was standing him right up at the blue line. He comes in, and you can see them clash with each other right there, and he gave him an elbow right in the face. Now, Eriksson, 6'2", 192 pounds. Ken Barry is about 5'10", 175 pounds soaking wet, but he's an aggressive player, and he's just tried to get that scoring opportunity.
Canada wins the draw, Styles the shot, and the save made by Oslin, who saw it all the way. Schreiber along the far boards was checked there. Boisvert now at center. Boisvert flips it in, and Schreiber will go after the loose puck. And the puck hits the referee Minch, and now Sweden come up with it. Eklund, number 4, across the Canadian blue line, checked from behind by Boisvert. Coming up with the puck, Peterson, who was tripped from behind, and I think it was his own player. Here comes Boisvert across the blue line. It's a 4-on-2 rush. Felix's shot was cleared away by Elderbrink. And now it's fired down the ice, and it won't be enough for icing as Styles goes back for it.
Immediately, Canada changed right there. They were a little tired on the shift. That's why you didn't see a good offensive play.
There's a giveaway by Canada at that blue line, and Waters covers up ahead to Claude Billgrain. Billgrain down the left-hand side. A pass across to Tambellini. Backhand shot, and he just misses the far side. Now Yaremchuk to Tambellini, back to Ken Yaremchuk. Billgrain back in the net. Possibly trying to make up for that bad penalty he took, which led to the Swedish goal. Billgrain can't get to the puck. Kept in by Waugh. Waugh to Billgrain. Billgrain doing a good job of directing that puck out in front of the net. Samuelson A cross-ice pass to Erling. Erling, who tied this game up at 2, check. 1:30 remaining here in the third period. Canada, Sweden tied at 2.
Out there too long, you Remchuk. Gotta get a change. Your line mates are gone.
With the score, Canada 2, Sweden 2. This is national team hockey from Saskatoon.
If the SO No Trouble gasoline now helps you get away from gas line freeze-up and in cold, damp weather, stalling and rough idling, why get caught without it?
1:24 remaining to play. Sweden and Canada tied at 2. Last exhibition game prior to the start of the '88 Winter Olympics in Calgary. That'll be on Saturday. Canada will play its first game Sunday, and that will be against Poland. Sean Burke back to the goal. Fires it high off the glass. Kept in by Carlson. Carlson plays it back to the corner. Zalewski now back in the net for Canada. Almost checked there, and now Randy Gregg has it. Final minute here at the third period. Kept in at the point, but it was done with a high stick, so the face-off will come all the way back. From Saskatchewan Place, National Team Hockey on the Can West Hockey Network.
I wish I could get colds like everyone else. Me, I get sinus colds. The congestion and pressure really hurts. And would you believe it? I forgot my Dristan tablets.
Dristan works through the bloodstream to shrink swollen sinus membranes and drains all 8 sinus cavities to help relieve the symptoms of your sinus cold.
Now I can breathe easier, and the hurting stopped.
Dristan drains all 8 sinus cavities.
55 seconds remaining, Dave, in the third period. Canada's second goal scored when they won the face-off, and in there to take the draw, Steve Tambellini against Thomas Rundqvist of Sweden.
Absolutely. Now, what they have to do is Melanowski has got to make sure that he pinches off the man coming out from that zone. Claude Vilgrain got to make sure that he pinches off the people on the right side. And, of course, Tambellini's got to win it.
And he does. Stiles at the point. Plays it to the corner. Tambellini tries to direct it to Vilgrain. Vilgrain taken out aggressively there by Carlson. Rundqvist cuts in front of the goal. Will lead the Swedish attack. Melanowski causing interference there on number 23, Peter Eriksson.
Look at the Swedish bench. They are standing up, banging their sticks on the boards. Merlin Melanowski simply tackled.
Sandlin's laughing about it.
Tackled him. Big Peter Eriksson, 212 pounds of him, is trying to go down the boards, and Merlin Melanowski puts the grab on him. Watch as they come out of the zone. He'll come and take the puck and go right around. Number 9 will do it. He'll come in, Rundqvist. He'll come up the zone, and on this left side, Melanowski is trying to hold back the big Swede. What a great play.
37 seconds left on the clock, tied at 2. And Sweden wanted another chance for some power play.
I don't blame them.
Well, I know what they mean about poor international officiating.
Well, I'm sure that that's not the case. I'm sure he's just looking at 2-2 and, hey, man, this is the last exhibition game. And
20 seconds remaining. Randy Gregg passed to Perry, and that was off the stick. Now Waters back to the Canadian goal with 14 seconds remaining. Tim Waters. Not going to take too many chances out there. Gregg ahead. Eldering plays it back in. 3 seconds remaining. One final shot. It's wide. And the game will end in a 2-2 tie. From Saskatchewan Place, you're watching National Team Hockey on the Can West Hockey Network.
The coffee beans chosen by Nescafe are the richest coffee beans in the world.